Merhaba, my adults. You are listening to M from Adults, the podcast with your host, Tristen, your host, fact-checker, Sheri, already yawning over there.
Every time we start, I start yawning.
You can turn the AC back on. It's hot.
I tried.
And, of course, the cat of infinite destruction, Leo.
He's napping. The monster's napping.
Guys, we hit a milestone. We got our first email.
Yay!
I'm going to read that off, not right now. But today I thought we'd talk about money. Everybody needs it. Everybody lives off of it. The world is ruled by it. Sheri in particular wanted to talk about money. This episode is pretty much going to center around her for the most part. So, what did you want to talk about, Sheri, in regards to money?
So, I guess it's more of how I related to money in the past and how that's changed and why, and then what I view money as now. So, my family grew up probably like lower middle class-ish.
Really?
Yeah.
I had the assumption you guys were like ultra millionaire.
No.
Yeah, that was a joke. Whatever. Okay, continue.
So we never had, like my parents would always buy shoes that were like, my mom would always buy shoes that were like 2 or 3 sizes too big because I'd have that much time to grow into them and not need more shoes.
Is that why you hate shoes?
No.
Oh.
Unrelated reason. But I didn't realize, once I became an adult, I had to shop for shoes for myself. I didn't realize that I was supposed to buy shoes that weren't like an inch longer than my feet. Like, I didn't realize how I was supposed to actually size shoes that fit me. I was constantly buying shoes that were way too big, and I didn't realize it for like a while.
See, my feet are so wide, I have to buy shoes that have like an inch at the end because otherwise I won't be able to squeeze my Sasquatch.
Well, you know
feet
me, I can wear kid-size shoes, so
It's
I was
so
wearing
funny.
like, it was clown feet for me.
She was doing measurements earlier for longboarding. We'll get to that later, but her hands literally don't even exist on the plane of measurement.
Apparently, my head is a large, and my hands they don't even fit in an extra small.
Seriously, it's an anomaly.
I'm a freak. But anyways, so the money stuff, we are always buying like discount things. Like we never shop like name brand clothes or anything. It was always like Walmart or Target clothes and that kind of stuff. And so going into college, I was very, very conscious of money. Like never wanted to spend on anything. And even after I graduated and from college and went back I lived in my own apartment, which was expensive, but I kind of needed to get away I needed to branch out and be independent at that point. But I was still, outside from that, very, very frugal, like buying extremely cheap used cars, and never went clothes shopping except for Wednesdays at the thrift store when everything is like 25% of the original cost, so you could walk out with
75% off.
Yeah,
of
like
a
if you go on
thrift store.
Wednesdays, yeah, because Wednesdays, it's like certain tags are discounted even further than they already are, so you get like stuff dirt cheap. You could walk out with like a few new outfits for like $10. Like, it was crazy. You just had to be like really patient. And like that was part of probably why I never really learned to cook, because it was always like the instant kind of food, like instant potatoes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when I first started dating Sheri, I'd come down here even before we were dating, and the only thing she had in her pantry was like 2 blocks of ramen and 4 packages of soup crackers you'd get from like a fast food place. It was so sad. Her fridge was so empty. I'm pretty sure there's still red onions in there from like a year ago.
Now, I can cook a good ramen, and I learned how to do a good cheap one, which is I would throw, like, spinach and carrots and an egg in there, and that's actually, like, a little bit more nutritious, but...
Technically, you're adding more calories.
Well, I need...
Well, yeah, you need them.
I only weigh, like, 100 pounds, but...
Yeah, but I look over, you got your little food belly. It's so cute.
Yeah, that's because I got to eat. I got good food today.
Yeah, I grilled up Hoffman hot dogs. Man, I fucking love
Yeah, and you made, veggie sushi. It was good. But anyways, we're getting off track. We've had a lot going on in the past week.
Don't let me swear anymore.
Okay.
I just dropped the F-bomb, but it was quiet.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I just noticed.
Anyways, I grew up thinking like I need to like pinch every single penny. And that when we were kids got us through, living on just my dad's salary. And then growing up the four of us, which is awesome, and means Steve were able to do stuff that like, we were still given opportunities to do fun things as kids or whatever. Like I took private viola lessons, but I still was wearing shoes that were like 3 sizes too big and stuff.
Wow.
So give and take. But anyways, I kind of carried that mindset with me through college, and then after I was living on a salary that was from a nonprofit, so it was pretty low, working full time, but it was really, really difficult, and I was still also like spending as much money to pay off my loans as possible, like my student loans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was probably actually putting away like I was probably paying like close to $1,000 a month towards student loans, which was really good, but also very stressful for someone like me that doesn't want to spend money on anything like food.
I know that you pay off your loans faster so that ultimately in the end you don't pay nearly as much.
You save thousands and thousands of dollars depending on the interest rates.
Then again, your dollar has to stretch even further on a normal day.
Yeah,
it's like
so and that's where
two evils.
Yeah, and that's why this kind of story is, with me in it. It's about how I kind of balanced myself because I was at the very far end of like not very healthy, like so responsible that I was irresponsible with other stuff. Like who decides to pay almost $1,000 towards their loan and then only eats ramen every day? Like that's not healthy. So, anyways,
to you, a gumball is a luxury food.
It really was. Like I remember when we were kids and stuff, is always begging to get the quarter things out of the little machines at the store and stuff, and like never ever we go to like even vacations. And this could be a whole episode. Like, this could be probably, like, 5 episodes by itself.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we
But we're doing the general
vacations.
thing on money. We'll talk about vacations another day. Get back to the money.
All right. So,
I want a vacation.
So, yeah, I started out being extremely frugal to the point where I was, like, hurting myself. Like, literally not taking good care of myself. I did pay off my student loans within, like, a few years, which was awesome, but...
Take notes, Mike.
I can teach you. And then, it was interesting because I also was friends with people in college that thought the same thing. Like, oh, we don't want to spend money. Like, we're not buying into, like, we're not going to put money into giant corporations like Nike that profit off of, like, human slaves in China. And then, they have these billionaires, like, at the head of the table and stuff. And, like, screw all of that or whatever. And so we were very, like, I was friends with, like, people that knew how to, like, garbage pick. Like, we were watching these whole documentaries on, like, people that would actually pick for, like, food and stuff, and, like, what was safe and what wasn't safe, and, like, where you could go and what to do if the bins were locked, and, like, how to establish a relationship. Yeah, it was, like, intense.
Why am I just learning this now?
It's just, like, something that I haven't thought about.
So wait, you were a dumpster diver?
I only did it once, but only because... I was actually...
Oh my goodness.
No, I did it because we were doing it for someone's... One of my friends was
I thought you were about to say bridal shower.
No, it was like his birthday, and I dumpster dived
that's
to put
better.
presents in the dumpster, and then had him go dive in it, and then he just found like these... I'd wrapped up like stuff like a song book, but wrapped it up in like newspaper and like wrote his name on it in permanent marker. It looked crappy.
So your dumpster diving wasn't actually dumpster diving; it was dumpster planting.
Mine personally, the one time that I did it, yes. But all of my friends, like I ate food. There was one time that they dumpster dove behind a popular grocery store, and they found like 26 bags of like the the party size chips that were only like a couple days expired or something, and they like made a tower out of the chips. And
Walmart has
like
a policy of throwing stuff away 3 days before it expires.
Exactly, like stuff like that.
And it's
like
a liability because if
someone gets sick,
off of dumpster divers come in and throw up, it's like it's on Walmart.
Exactly, and so that's why they lock it and stuff, even though it's like a huge waste.
I know. I always hated that. Like back when I was a manager at Walmart, Lunchables that have like the little nerds in them. Mm-hmm. Nerds don't have to be refrigerated, obviously, but if a Lunchable gets left out in the grocery aisle,
has to go.
Yeah, you gotta toss it all. And every time I throw away a box of grape nerds, I'd shed a tear.
Yeah, Garlic the nerds.
But then one of my associates, I caught him eating nerds out there, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play a prank on this kid. And I was like, you do that again. Oh, man, I don't even know what's going to happen. Oh, his face got so red. I'm like, dude, Damon, I'm just kidding.
Aww.
I'm just kidding, man. And he's like, oh, I thought I was really doing something wrong. I was like, oh, you were. But I don't care.
Aw.
Go ahead, have them. I mean, they're not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like legitimate, like, these people have researched, like, how to dumpster dive, how to do it, like, ethically so that they're not going to get, like, the corporations or employees in trouble, and then what to look for so you don't get sick and stuff. And then they literally, the documentary that I watched, these people were able to feed, like, a community, like, a neighborhood of people of all the food that they found. And it was crazy.
Isn't it amazing just how much we throw away just because Walmart doesn't want to lose money?
A whole other, there's so many podcasts that I could fill up, like, a whole chapter of podcast
For dumpster
just on
diving?
this kinds of stuff. Just on...
I'd rather we get to the money and then talk about this past week of you just eating shit on your longboard. That's what I'm excited for.
Well, you keep helping me branch off into, like...
It's a discussion. I don't... At this point...
But the discussion is going off in tangents.
I know, but, like, I want it to be real, so let's tangentize. Like,
Okay.
I don't... This whole needing to be focused thing is really stressing me. I'm just like, let's just
sorry.
talk.
Well, I
Let's
just
talk.
feel like...
We're personalities. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I guess if there could be a part 2 if I don't actually get to the point that I want.
Yeah.
I want to get to the point that
Plus,
I'm
if
trying to
questions are still open, the email is here, and let me tell you, it's workwiththemadults@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We got an email, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait to read it for
Yes.
you. But continue,
good
please.
stuff. So, yes, and that whole story about dumpster diving is because I had a lot of friends in college that were mostly the same, like, similar mindset. Like, I don't want to pay for stuff. Like, there's all the secondhand stuff. Like, the United States tends to be the consumption and fast fashion kind of culture and stuff, and so you buy something that's really expensive and then you throw it away and when it's still usable and things. So, it was a lot of, like, you know, the washing your hair with baking soda instead of shampoo and stuff. Like, it was... I could tell you so many stories that I'm only just starting to remember now that I'm actually talking about this.
I feel like if you wash your hair with baking soda, it's like the same reaction you get when you salt a snail or whatever.
Salt a snail?
Yeah.
Aw.
Or a slug or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
Well, we're not
doesn't-
trying to kill it.
It don't feel right, man. If my head don't smell like green apple, then I'm gonna die. I'm going to die.
Anyways, it was just very minimalist. That was the whole thing back then. It's like, you don't need that much. And I remember, like, I still have pictures of my first apartment, and I just literally had, like, my hammock, and then my Mac computer that I used to, like, edit and make graphic design stuff and, like, edit wedding photos for people. And that was, like, it. I had, like, a thrift store desk that was, like, $10. I got a desk for, like, $10, and then I just had, like old clothes, and I stayed the same size forever, so I could still fit in stuff from, like, 4 or 5 years ago, even after college. And
Well, you're not growing anymore anytime soon.
no.
And even when I first met you, your house was still pretty barren. Like, it
Yep,
seriously
no
is-
decorations.
it was as decorated as the Mojave.
Exactly. I was like, I will get all, like, the important stuff. Like, I had to get, like, the insulation, and last year the hot water heater was broken, and then
Now it's a washer and
furnace
dryer.
needed to be yep, now it's the washer and dryer. I mean, all the stuff last year was a lot more expensive than this year, so that's fine. But
Guys, she only started dating me because of my wall decorations. I'm telling you. She
No,
saw
it's
them all.
literally
She's
true.
like, dang.
all that I had the TV wall mounted, and then I had the one decoration that I had wanted, which is that sunburst mirror that's on the wall, and
That's what
that
that-
was like, that was a non-negotiable. Like, I wanted it because I'd seen it, like, on a Pinterest, like, sunburst mirror on an orange wall, and that's what this living room. And so I love that thing.
Oh, okay. I see the aesthetic now.
Yep.
I see it now.
And so but I always, like, was like, oh, I'll decorate when this kind of plays into this mindset. It's hard to describe where I'm going.
No, I
'cause-
get it. You don't want to decorate because you feel like it's wasted money.
Well, not necessarily. See, that's the thing. Is
Well, no, I don't know.
Exactly. And, like, I didn't want to spend money on stuff that... So, I started out, in the beginning, I don't want to spend money. Like, it was literally, like, I will buy the cheapest stuff just to get by, or whatever. Like, there's a website called Free Cycle, and I think that's where I found that lamp that's sitting over there on the left.
That ugly thing?
The short one. And then people
Gross.
at work gave me that leaf one, and that leaf one has a twin that's somewhere in here.
That one's cool.
Like, literally, those lamps are free. Like, everything I had was either free and given to me, or I'd picked up really cheap somewhere, like, at the thrift store. So...
Now I got a question for you. Did you really feel better? You know, now that you're looking back?
And that's the funny thing, is that, like, I felt... it's weird because when you spend money on something, and this is kind of going to roll into the end whenever I get to the end.
You have a goal in mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
That getting that stuff for free, that stuff didn't really mean as much. That Sunburst mirror was like $80. That was really expensive for me back in the
bought
day.
80?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like heavy and stuff. Like, it's a quality decoration, and I love it. And it was $80.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the reason why I treasure it is because it cost me money, and especially back then, it was like a good chunk of money. That lamp that's sitting there, like, screw that lamp, like, whatever.
I see. I see where you're going with that, because I feel even so back in the day, I have lots and lots of hours in Team Fortress 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I dumped a lot of money into unusuals, which are hats with effects on them. Top tier. Orbiting planets is the best effect. Don't at me. Bubbling is second. Don't at me. I don't like flames. I don't like burning flames or scorching flames. I could talk about unusuals all day. But I feel like the second I got an unusual, I couldn't use anything else because the unusual was so much more valuable than anything else I had.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is like my unusual Frostbite Cold Killer is way more expensive than my unusual Orbiting Planets Liquidator's Lid, but I could swap between them freely.
Right.
But I just can't use unique hats because they don't have the effects on them.
Yeah.
And I understand where you're coming from. Like, if you dump money on it, it's like, I want to get my money's worth out of this.
Right.
So it's like, if you got a free lamp, okay, well, I don't even have to look at that lamp. I didn't pay for it. But if I got this $80 decoration,
Right.
my eyes are going to be glued to that for at least 2 hours.
And the lamps are actually expensive, because I remember when I was first looking, and that's why I'm happy I got those for free at the time. But lamps are not cheap, like, unless they're really, really crappy lamps. But the leaf lamp is probably like $40-$60, like, if I were to find that at the store.
I don't think that's that expensive.
For a lamp?
A lamp that provides you light? I mean, it's
I'm
like
just saying,
essential...
like, relative to, like... I mean, yeah. But I also could have just sat in the dark. And, like, that was the mindset.
You wouldn't sit in the dark.
I would. No, this is because that's how I grew up.
Well, then close these blinds forever.
My parents did. When I grew up as a kid, my dad worked the night shift.
Clearly I touched it. I was just joking.
Well, that's like, I have to explain now, because I love having all this natural light, and it kills me to have to close those curtains every day. But we have to, because now there's 2 TVs in here and everything, and it gets hot and stuff. But every single day of my life, my dad worked the night shift, and so he did not do good, like, during the day. Like, he was like a vampire. I remember thinking that as a kid. The blinds were always shut. It was always, like, at best, it was dark in the living room. And every single night, because my parents were me times 10, because that's where I got it from, it was... we never turned any lamps or lights on in the house unless you were in that room at that time. As soon as you were out, like, you had to turn the light off.
Thing.
Yeah, we literally would sit in the dark. Like, you know how we turn that side lamp on every night? Like, we would sit in the dark and just watch TV, like, as a family, and that was our activity. Like,
I used to do that as a kid. I would never turn on a secondary light, but my eyes got so tired from that being the only... Now I can't do anything unless there's a secondary light.
I just, like... And that, again, that's why I like having... Even though I still am always thinking about the utility bill, like, I know that lamp has got the energy saver bulb, and it costs like $5 a year to use it. And I like having that light because I didn't have that as a kid. I didn't have any control over it. Like, I like having these huge windows and the natural light because...
The sun is evil.
Not to me.
It gives us heat.
No, I love it. And because I never had it as a kid. Yeah. And along with a bunch of other stuff. So.
Can you imagine that being a punishment or whatever? It's like... You didn't wash the dishes? No sunlight for a week. I could imagine that. It's like, I'm taking away your vitamin D privileges.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
So, yeah, the times when I spent money on something, it had to be something
Worth it.
important. Yeah. I remember like getting out of college and living in my own apartment, and I still, like, for a long time, like, only had stuff given to me. Like, my second apartment, I still moved in and had somebody give me, like, a microwave they weren't using and, like, a side table. I picked up a coffee table at the thrift store for, like, another $10 to help. I think I got, like, a futon / yeah, it was, like, one of those fold-down, like, click-clack futons from Walmart, and that was, like, $50 just to have somewhere for people to sit, like, if I ever had anybody over.
Click,
And
clack. Are you talking in college still, or?
no, second apartment.
Oh, okay. How many apartments total in your life? 2?
Just
3?
2.
2?
Technically, like.
So it was second apartment and then this house.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and the second apartment was a studio apartment. It started out $450 a month, which is super cheap.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Especially for, like, living by yourself. And it was just, like, the one big, in quotes, room was the bedroom / living room, and then there was a bathroom, and then you had, like, a half kitchen, and that was it. It's kind of, like, the kitchen was, like, the size of yours.
My kitchen was very tiny.
Yeah.
It was like
And
it was a literal easy bake.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's what I had, too. Yeah. And then I had, like, a tube TV that someone gave to me. And it sat on the floor. Like, I didn't even have, like,
oh, my goodness. How? Could you live like that?
And I literally, like, because it was cheap, like, and that was how I lived forever and ever. And that was okay for a long time. Like, and I don't, well, I won't even say it was okay. It was still unhealthy because I was so obsessed with money that it was stressful, and I was still not eating good because I didn't want to spend money on food, and I didn't know how to cook or anything really. So that was what my life was.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very glad you've eased up because you're, like, buying yourself new underwear. You bought a washer and dryer because you know you need it.
Well, and this is where I've kind of progressed. Like, once I got to the point, so I
when I came along.
Well, I wasn't with
Damn.
my ex anymore. I had to take over the mortgage on this house by myself. Simultaneously got a new job off the bat. So my old job, I worked at that nonprofit for almost 8 years and got this new job. It was an entry-level job at, like, one of the lower salary bands, and immediately had a $15,000 raise, which was crazy. It's like, to me, I was like, what the?
My goodness,
like,
I'm not even that old. Just kidding.
And this company has been very helpful for me for that, and I'm very grateful to have a job where I'm able to afford having a mortgage on my own if I need to. Like, I'm still stressed out about money and still look for ways to save, but I'm a lot more comfortable about it. And I've gotten to the point where it's a little bit healthier about where I want to spend my money. Again, it used to be all like, oh, like, I want to find, like, the cheapest. Like, I'll go to Walmart and get the cheapest, like, piece of crap, clothes that I can or whatever, like, cooking or cleaning supplies and stuff. Now that I'm at the point where, like, I got not exactly a raise, but I have a higher salary. Yeah, and I am happier putting money into. This is gonna sound really hippie now. I'm gonna switch gears, but like sustainable, like environmentally conscious, like social awareness, like kind of, like making sure, like fair wages and all that kind of stuff. Like
why don't you go grow a tree?
And that's part of, like, the wildflowers, like, in the front and backyard, like, instead of mowing the lawn.
No, that's just because you don't want to mow the lawn.
I don't mind mowing the lawn.
She's killing the bees.
No, I want the bees. I want to save the bees. But even stuff like again, like, so shampoo, I used to get I would get the Suave, like, that's super cheap stuff you can get, like, at Walmart or something, like the cheap bottles.
Equate. That's their brand, is Equate.
Maybe.
That's usually what I get.
And,
I used to get whatever smelled like green apple and it's going to be dandruff.
Well, now I'm at the point where I want...
She wants coconut.
Well, I like coconut scented.
Everything has to be coconut scented.
But I look more at what ingredients are in there. Like, is it good for me? And is the company... I actually appreciate companies that I look at products, and if the products are priced super low, I'm like, well, they're probably profiting off of like wage slaves somewhere or something.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies where like I found the first time I found like a pair of leggings that I wanted, because there's a lot of leggings you can get out there for like $5-10, and they're super gross and cheap, and they fall apart in like 2 seconds. And I found a pair that was like $70, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. But it was because they were making sure that the workers that were producing them were at least being paid a living wage in the factories that they were working in. And I started realizing that I was at the point where my dollar meant less to me than it did to other people. Like, I was that person kind of before, where I was like trying to survive. But now I'm at the point where it's actually more responsible for me. The responsibility is not to save my wealth, it's to spend it in places where it helps other people the most, and is actually also helpful for me. Like, not anymore of eating, the $2 pack of 12 ramen
Oh, that's so
every
good.
single day. And not just buying like cheap clothes that are made by factory workers in horrible conditions that'll fall apart in 2 seconds, and I just have to keep buying more, and then it keeps filling up the landfills and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I look now to make sure that the products that I'm getting are like sustainable, and that they're more ethical company, and I'm actually happier to pay more for a product if it's going somewhere. Like, I'm all about like the shop local and small businesses and stuff now, because there's more like transparency and trust. I found some really cool companies. It's funny now because now I have like this standard, but like, and I'm extremely picky, but for a different reason, because either products have to be like extremely functional. Like, now I found this brand of athletic wear for women that does like sports bras, that has a pocket that you can fit your phone in, and they have shorts that are like running shorts, but they have 5 pockets that can actually fit your phone. And those are like much more expensive than like the stuff I can get like the thrift store or the dollar store. But it goes a lot further. Like, my dollar goes a lot further, and it's meaningful, and the quality like lasts a lot longer. I think that was something I didn't realize either as a kid, but when you buy something that's
Better.
like, say, leather versus like fake leather, like, it lasts a lot longer. I remember buying boots.
You end up spending less.
Yeah.
Same thing with tires. They always say just don't cheap out on tires, because you will replace them more often.
Right, and it's more expensive.
You'll end up losing money. Like, you
Yeah.
can do it like once
Yep.
to save up money for a better tire, but like, don't.
Yeah, I remember I bought like a pair of boots that were, I thought it was like it was a name brand, and I thought, oh, these were gonna be awesome, and then it was like my first pair, and they were like $60, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. It lasted 1 year,
Yeah.
and that's not good, especially with the Syracuse winters. They just fall apart, and you need something that's gonna be like, that's gonna last longer. So take it for what it is, but I bought leather ones next time. I got a pair of black Timberlands, and I've literally had those ever since. I've had those for like 8, 9, 10 years or something. So there's just companies out there that actually put quality and care like into their products, and they care about them, and they care about the people making them, and it's actually, again, like, my responsibility now that I have enough wealth that I'm comfortable and I can take care of myself, and I have like money saved up and stuff, that the responsible thing for me to do now is not to just save it and hoard it up and not spend any money on anything, but to spend money on things that are worthwhile and that is going to go to people that need it.
Yeah,
So-
like spending money to give more money or whatever to like the 1%, whereas we could just keep everything that we have, us 99%, and spread it over.
Exactly.
Instead of increasing that wage
Yes.
or class gap or whatever is much, much better.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Like, if we're in the upper 75%, then we can help out the lower 25%.
Yeah.
And that's also
24. Your math. I did it. I win.
the like, that's why when I'm at the point too where like I used to like hate tipping, and I know how that sounds, but again, like, you're coming from somebody that was eating ramen like every single day.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where if I am having like, I don't usually get delivery anyways, I usually just go pick it up or I'll go eat there. But if I'm tipping like a waitress or like a delivery person or anything like that, like, they get a big tip Like, especially if they did an awesome job, like, I'll round it up to the nearest 10.
Yeah.
Because,
Tipping is a freaking scam anyway.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate that culture.
but
Hate
what's nice is that tip will go, well, hopefully, it's supposed to go at least to the group of workers that are on that level. Like, if the waiters and waitresses are splitting tips, it stays there. But
Yeah.
you can, like, immediately, you can control the percent of your purchase that goes to that working class person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a cool thing to do. So, like, even stuff like what I've been doing lately, there's like a plant shop that's like walking distance, and their stuff might be like a little bit more expensive, but that store is like so cute, and the woman that runs it is awesome, and I'd much rather like go there and have my money go to her in her little like store and to someone that like has their heart in like this business of like growing plants, and like you can see clearly that she cares and that's her passion, than to go down to like Lowe's and buy like, you know, one of their 100 potted plants that they have shipped in from who knows where and that kind of thing.
Honestly, when you took me to that plant store for the first time, I was really, I'm going to sound bad doing this, but I was taken aback by how much greenery there was in there. There were a lot of plants, and you know what I bought? I bought 2 posters of mushrooms and minerals.
Yeah, they were cool though.
I didn't buy any plants. I don't like them. I mean,
that's
I
fine.
appreciate the oxygen
I'm the
they
plant
give me.
person.
You know.
You can be the poster person. I'm not a poster
Okay,
person.
yeah, sure. I'll be the poster.
Yeah. But even stuff like candles, you can get a dime a dozen. You can get super cheap ones, literally at the dollar store. Or you can get like the wax melts and stuff. But most of the time, those, again, they're made using not good ethical practices, and they're actually like not great for you. Like if you look into like what goes into candles, they say that.
Are you talking like Yankee Candle?
No, I don't know about Yankee Candle.
Because what you're saying right now, I just imagine like the doctors or whatever, they're giving birth to babies or something. They're just sticking instruments in there to harvest the earwax immediately.
Ew.
And they say, "Oh, this one's gonna be a nice Macintosh
No.
apple candle."
Just like they're not probably using the best like like they say the cleanest burning stuff you're supposed to get is like a soy candle
Ew.
with scented.
Oh,
And
soy.
that's because like if you're burning like I mean obviously it's bad if you burn garbage, and people if you don't know what's in your candle, like you're burning stuff that you don't. That's what they say anyways. I haven't done
No,
much research on
hold
it.
the phone right now. Did you just say it's bad when they burn garbage? Is that what
I said it's bad if you burn garbage.
But weren't you dumpster diving earlier?
It's not even on the same level as burning garbage.
I know, but like I just wanted to make it seem like I had a point or whatever to
You
show
don't.
that I was listening.
You're listening. I'm not connecting the dots quite, but okay.
I can open the coloring book, but I don't have any crayons. So
But-
your evolution of money has gone from being very, very frugal to here's your money.
Well,
Everybody that
it's not
works
like-
hard.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm
well, I
still
mean, it's a
finding
good
balance.
evolution. The opposite would be de-evolution. It's like, oh, I make a lot of money at Walmart, and I just want to give it right to Sam Walton because I don't think he has enough.
Well,
Even though he's dead.
either like that, like, yeah, like I tried. It's just a tough balance. There's so much to go. I don't even like it necessarily when people are like, oh, I'm never gonna shop at Walmart, because like the workers at Walmart like still need to earn a living too, but the for that
There's
to
so
be
much
fixed,
more money for them to be given, though.
I know,
you
and
like,
but the issue is for that to be fixed. There's like how is anybody gonna tackle like reforming Walmart's business plan? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't
Walmart
look down
is-
on people that like that was me too, and
sorry.
I just want to have a healthier take on where I'm spending my money, and like I still want to be responsible first. Like I want to make sure that I'm not just throwing my money away and then falling into debt and having to go bankrupt, and that's not good. So trying to be responsible still, which I am.
See, and I'm proud of you for how you've evolved, because just the way this house has changed ever since I came into your life, I take a lot of credit. But I know it wasn't me; it was you. You're very,
Well,
very
again,
strong.
and
woman.
yeah, and you like we started dating around when I was having to buy all of the really expensive stuff. So I still wasn't at the point where I had a lot of extra money floating around. Like, I'm still not now. Like, you mentioned the washer and dryer, and we'll talk about that in a second. But, like,
I can't
I
wait.
had
I'm
to
so
do,
excited.
like, between this house didn't have any insulation up until last year. So the insulation had to be done. The hot water heater and the furnace had to be replaced. And I think there was something else. But, like, I literally spent, that's like $10,000, maybe a little bit more last year, just on, like, essential, like, literally essential stuff that this house needed. Like, I mean, I could have waited to do the insulation, but the earlier you get it, the longer it saves you money, so it made sense to do it, like, as soon as I could. But that was, like, a lot. So I wasn't, like, at the point where I was still, like, buying whatever. But I was kind of at the point where my mindset was shifting, and I was thinking, okay, you know, I really want to put my money towards really good stuff. Like, I went with the best, like, furnace company that I could find. Like, I had 3 different companies come here to, like, test the insulation of the house and, like, tell me what they thought. And I went between the 3 of them and picked the one that was, like, the most informative and stuff. Like, didn't look at the price as much. Just wanted the best quality because I wanted something that was going to last. That was my dollar would go further. And that kind of, like, shift in thinking of, okay, if I am going to spend money, I want it to be on something that I really love. And that's kind of another thing that kind of ties back.
Is that why you pay for us when we eat out? Yes or no? You were about to avoid it.
Well, you keep distracting me and I keep losing my focus of where I'm trying to go.
I feel like I have to chime in a little bit to space it out a bit so it doesn't get all rambly. You know what I'm saying? I got to chime in. A little comic relief every now and again. Anyway, continue, please. You were talking about spending money on stuff you love. You want to make sure you have the highest quality things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and I never had money as a kid to, like, I never got to really pick stuff. Like, I even remember when I was in, like, high school, like, everybody, like, all my friends had part-time jobs and they were, like, buying used cars and stuff. I didn't even have my license until after college, actually. And I wanted to work, and my parents, like, my mom wanted me to focus on schoolwork. Like, yes, that was good. And I did do well in high school and everything. Also, because of that, I just, like, didn't know for a long time what I liked. Like, I didn't know for a long time.
Like, for hobbies or whatever?
Hobbies, I kind of just did stuff because I was good at it. And even, like, that played into a lot of, like, playing Xbox. Like, I played a lot of games that were competitive. Like, I was obsessed with Call of Duty only because I wanted to be good at it and beat everybody else. How come you don't play with us then? You guys never asked me to play.
I would.
No.
Do I not, really?
No, never.
I'm always wondering why you're not playing.
Because you never asked me to play.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyways.
I didn't know.
I did not know what I liked. I didn't know what I liked to do. I didn't know what I liked to wear. I didn't know how I liked my hair, really, except that it's always been long.
So you never had...
I still like it long.
You were never able to get the experience as a kid, so growing up, you didn't really feel like you had anything to spend money on.
Yes, and so not only did I not... I didn't learn how to choose what to buy until, like, way later in my life than most people. And I had to figure out what I like. So, like, what colors do I like? Like, I realized that I like warm lighting instead of, like, the cool lighting and stuff.
Never trust anybody that likes cool lighting, unless it's in a kitchen or
well, that's what I've heard, is you're only supposed to use it in, like, an office space or, like, a kitchen where, like, you kind of need to see and focus. And warm lighting is for, like, environment. Like,
places that you want to be happy.
In, like, a living room.
And not miserable.
Yeah, like bedrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, like, even I thought that I had a favorite color when I was a kid, and I kind of just picked it because somebody else picked that color.
What color?
Green.
That's weak. When did you choose the one true best color?
It was like in my last year or so of college, I think, is when I started, like, switching and, like, kind of, like, thinking about what do I actually like.
Okay, but when did you decide? When did you...
I don't know.
I think it was because I helped you decide. I was like, orange is the best color, and you said, damn.
That's
right.
not how
Gotta
it happened.
say. It's pretty good.
No, that's not how it happened.
It is, no, the best color.
If that makes you feel better.
Whatever. No, I mean, it does make me... Anyway, continue.
So, I had to learn a lot of like what I valued ethically, like again with money, like deciding what to buy, like Walmart versus a small local business. Like I feel like small local businesses, if I can afford it, is a better choice.
Yeah, Walmart is a trap like that, though. You know, like they pay their workers just enough to where they feel like they have to shop at Walmart still. Like they're just barely above minimum wage, and they're slightly edging out anybody else around them, so people will work at Walmart.
Walmart is they have a very, not good as in like, again, ethical,
It's
but
very
it's not,
calculated.
it's very, they're very, very, very sharp, like plan.
Walmart is
they know what
very
they're doing.
consistent. Yep.
They know how to make money.
Yep.
So
That's why I never felt bad whenever I didn't finish anything. I'm like, whatever. I mean, little Johnny Knoxwin won't get his Scribbler pops today. You know, oh well, he can go home and cry to mom. You know, I'd sleep soundly at night.
Yeah.
And anytime, oh, there's a huge truck coming in, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, well, I'll do what I can. You pay me this much, you get this much out. And they only give you a 2% raise, which is evening with inflation. Like, inflation per year is about 2% increase.
Yeah.
So they only ever give you a 2% raise. They only give you 3% if you work super hard and like you make sure you're friends with all the upper management and they really really like you and you work super super hard. Like you gotta sweat every second you work there to get a 3% raise to almost beat out inflation. You know, so when they're 2% if you get satisfactory or above, there's only 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. It's like needs improvement, satisfactory, above average or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get all 3s to get the 3% raise. And I was like, okay, so the difference between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3%, is it really worth working that hard? No, it's not. Not for Walmart. Not for Walmart. So I never cared. But anyway, what were you saying?
Well, I don't know what I was saying, but I'll kind of wrap it up. At this point, like you mentioned, you know, I'm buying like more clothes and stuff and whatever. It's funny because I feel bad saying this. I will acknowledge that I'm very privileged because I have a very decent paying job right now that's very reliable and I can work from home during coronavirus. I'm during quarantine. I have 100% like job security and I am not hurting for money or anything like that. So I'm going to start off by saying that because there's a lot of people out there that are not experiencing that and my heart goes out to you. Having said that, I've also been like saving money on like not driving to work every day. I've been saving like a lot of time on not having to like get ready and go to work. It's been less stressful because I don't have to wake up at like a very specific time in the morning, like an hour and a half early and like get ready and like just like blow the driveway and rush off the car or whatever, all that kind of stuff.
You feel so much better.
I feel
because you have more. Your work is giving you more by letting you stay home.
Yes, I've gotten like,
you know,
and again, like I know this is the opposite experience of most people right now, but I've gotten more because of what's happening right now and the way that my job is structured. Because I'm able to work from home, I've saved a lot of money, and a lot of time, and this is also like in line with like my way of like growing and like figuring out what kind of stuff I like. I've been able to take the money that I'm saving and put it towards like stuff that I really appreciate. So I've been like trying to help out restaurants and like buying takeout from like Asian restaurants I really like. Like there's a Korean place that's close by and I was buying food from them and like giving them like 100% tip and stuff and saying, well, that was my gas money, so I might as well use it like on something like that. And you know, I love their food.
But we just ordered the worst pizza we've ever had.
Well, it was disappointing. They changed the recipe. I don't know what.
I just feel like they didn't cook it all the way. I think it was
haven't something.
But
something
then again,
wrong.
every single time I go through and watch Kitchen Nightmares, I just become overly critical of everything again.
No, but it was bad. Like you brought it
wasn't
back,
good.
and I opened it up, and I was like, "This doesn't look like this looks like any pizza shop off the street." This pizza place, I've lived near here for like 5 years or something. I've been getting pizza from that place actually since I started at my old job because that pizza place was within range of where I worked my first job. And so I've been a customer of that place for probably like 7-8 years. And their pizza has been like the best in the whole city. Now, what you brought home the other night, I was like,
I'm
this
so
is
sorry.
not up to par with my pizza shop.
Seriously, you could take the whole pizza out, wring it out, and then deep fry it in its own
gross.
grease.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
There was a lot of cheese, and that was tasty, but that was about it. Like, I actually liked them because they did the thin crust, and it was always like...
And they do garlic pizza.
And it was so good. And it was like, I'm not a crust person, and I would eat the crust every time. But that stuff you brought back was like doughy and like squishy. And,
I fail you.
Yeah. Well, they failed me.
I
really appreciate it when
we'll stay loyal until we decide that this is an actual thing. Could have just been a one-off.
Well, that's what I'm scared. Like, next time, we gotta go like, I gotta go look and at the pizzas and see, because I'll know. Yeah. I'll be like, did you hire a new cook? Or, he's not doing a good job. Like, do you need to talk a secret? Like, blink once if you want me to, fire him for you or something.
Blink once if he's gonna lose a leg.
But, yeah, so I've been able to spend this time not only figuring out more, I've had more, like, time to kind of, like, sit and think about what do I actually like or want, and also have been fortunate and privileged to have actually extra cash on hand right now, and to think, like, when we got that stimulus check, and think about where I want to put that stuff. And I've been trying to put it into, like, I bought gift cards from businesses that I appreciate, that I, like, gift cards from, like, restaurants that I couldn't go to because they weren't open, but hoping to help them stay open and pay their rent and stuff.
And we were lucky to get stimulus checks, too. Like,
there are people still waiting.
They follow the same guidelines, and it's, we didn't get our stimulus checks or whatever.
Yeah, and it all comes down to what privilege you have and stuff. Like, there's class privilege, too. Like, I know everybody, it's all about white privilege right now, but there's different kinds. But I won't get into that. So I've been able to do stuff like that. So supporting my local food businesses that I really don't want to go out of business. And, like, the plant shop, like, I bought a gift card from them, too, because they were closed. Mm-hmm. Clothing is a big one. I have a really hard time fitting into, like, work clothes, and they're always so uncomfortable, and I freaking hate them. And they don't have pockets. Everybody knows that women's dress pants are uncomfortable, they're expensive, and they don't have pockets that are functional. Like, sometimes they're just fake. Like, it looks like it's a pocket, and it's nothing. They just, like, put a flap on there to make it look like it's a pocket.
Yeah. No, I hate dress codes in general.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a bunch of BS.
I gotta say, I don't like... If there's no wiggle room with rules, I hate following that rule. Like, okay, the law says you gotta wear clothes places, but the law doesn't dictate what clothes you have to wear places. And I'm okay, look, you can wear whatever you want. But it's like everywhere at the job, you have to wear khakis and a polo and nothing else, and it has to be blue. Walmart's old dress code was, I hated it. I hated it so much. I was like, well, maybe if you sold these clothes, I would be able to wear them.
It was funny, like, when I worked at the thrift store, they were like, okay, like, you have to wear a white polo shirt or button-up shirt and black pants. And I was like, why? I was like, I work in the warehouse I don't work out front even, or at the cash register. I work in the back.
That's so
where we
stupid,
take old people's bags of clothes that they donated. I never see the front. We literally just worked in the back. We would open up all this crap that people donated. Some of it was, like, legitimate. Like, people, like, would literally crap their pants and, like, wipe their asses with their underwear and then throw it in this plastic bag to donate. And that's, like, what we would open up sometimes. It was terrible. I have plenty of stories about that, too.
You gotta make sure you look good doing it, though.
Yeah, they told me white polo shirt, like, white button-up shirt and black pants. I was like, what? But they also said... At the end of my first day, they were like, go in the front of the store, pick out 5 outfits for free. And I was like, well, then that's fair.
Yeah. I'm so glad back when I was working at Walmart, they changed their dress code because it was a lot more lenient. You could wear jeans. You were able to wear whatever you wanted, but as long as you had the Walmart vest on top of it, I was like, okay, I appreciate that because there's a lot more expressiveness and creativity that you can go instead of just falling in line.
Yeah.
I'm not a soldier. Why do we all have to look the same, the exact same?
Well,
it's just miserable. It's miserable.
Yeah. My last job, like, did not need a dress code, like, the nonprofit. If we were meeting with people, like, outside, like, customers or whatever you want to call them, like, that's understandable. But, like, 99% of the time, you're sitting in a cubicle. Like, it's not necessary to... Like, I got called out one time she's not even my boss. This lady told me that I couldn't wear these pants because they were jeans, and they weren't. They weren't like polyester dress pants or whatever you want to, but they were like the kind of linen-y. They were like linen pants, and I liked them because they were comfortable, but they looked nice. Like they were just a straight leg, like gray, like linen pant. And she told my coworker to tell me I couldn't wear them anymore because they were jeans. I was like, these
cowardly.
are not jeans.
That's cowardly, having other people talk to you.
Yeah, I could.
It's like, tell him to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Cowardly.
Well, it was my coworker too. It wasn't even my boss. Like, she should have told my boss if anything.
Coward.
But anyways, I'm not a fan of dress codes. At least like the current workplace, like they're pretty lenient. Again, like we know to dress up if we have customers coming in or something. But for the most part, you know, I'm fairly comfortable at work. It's more of like the women's fashion industry is so behind. They need to catch up.
The best thing about working at home is that you don't even have to wear clothes.
It's true.
You don't even have to wear
My standards
clothes.
have dropped a lot since I stopped. Since I've been working.
And
at
I'm
home.
not complaining. I gotta say, I ain't complaining.
But anyways,
So you're
circling back around.
Your coming of age story of spending money. It's like
I'm very picky now because I am finding out like I am a huge proponent of comfort. Like I'm very over. Like I'm not like a name brand person anymore. Like I was kind of at a halfway point. Like I was probably at the point where most teenagers were. Where I was like a couple of years ago, where I was all about like, oh, like American Eagle stuff is like nice, or like Hollister, like that's where I want to shop or whatever. Because I had never gotten the chance to like spend my money. I was probably, you know what I mean? Like I got to that stage a lot later in life.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily I went through that quick. And now it's just like, it needs to be extremely functional. And I also have to love the way that it looks.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy it. So there's like a clothing store downtown that's pretty expensive. Like a lot of their stuff is like between $40 and like over $100. But they have like awesome stuff, and they're like a local small business. And their stuff fits me, and I love the style. Like pretty much every time I go there, I can find 1 to 3 things that I like, and I usually have to limit myself.
Just take a deep breath.
Yeah, I just am finding
Just take a deep breath.
there's specific, like very specific niche places that will, and I mean the sizing is another thing too because I'm so small. But I'm like picking. There's a brand of dress pant yoga pants that I found. They're supposed to be super comfortable, like come highly rated. They have like multiple functional pockets and stuff, and they actually did the sizing. Like I had to measure myself, and I found like a size that would fit. So I ordered a pair, expensive, like $70 and stuff, but they're supposed to be coming in the mail this week, and then I can see if they fit. And if they fit, I'm going to buy 3 of those. I got the black, and I'll get like a gray and like maybe a navy blue or something, and then I'll just wear those and rotate them. And they're machine washable. They're not dry clean either. That's a plus. Like I have these like crazy high standards now for anything that I buy. Like,
but that's only because you're more comfortable in your current setting, right? Because you're obviously making more money.
It took 2 things.
And you don't have to spend so much.
It took me having the financial freedom, and it took me figuring out what do I really value and appreciate. So, and now, like, I will buy a gigantic soy candle that's $50 from the local lady that pours them herself because it's tropical coconut, mango, pineapple flavor, and she's like a local small business, and that candle is like really good quality and smells amazing, and that is the only candle I will buy. Same thing with like the underwear. Like I was trying to find something that was very functional and that would be very comfortable because I'm sick of like just like cheap clothes, like cheap shoes. It's not worth it anymore. There's some stuff that you can get at the thrift store. That's fine. Like if I just needed like a workout shirt, tank top, or whatever, then yeah, like I can get that at the thrift store. Or like a pair of like jean shorts. Like I'm not going to go to American Eagle when I can get the American Eagle at the thrift store for like a tenth of the price. But
well, that was interesting. We got anything you want to say? Any last words for the money situation?
Yeah. Again, like every decision that we make has a ton of consequences behind it. And again, I'm not shaming anybody that shops at Walmart. I'm not shaming anybody that buys like we are where we're at and we are who we are.
But you need to die.
And and I'm not trying to say that I'm better or worse than anybody else. This is just where I'm at and the conclusions that I've come to. And this is something that's been in my head, like, rattling around thinking about it for a long time.
See, now, people have these different upbringings when it comes to the same topic, because your upbringing on money is almost completely different from mine. You know, and I just have one question. How long do you think that you were talking about money?
A long time.
Give me a number.
I don't know, 40 minutes?
Okay, you've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes.
No, I haven't.
You're right. It's been 55 minutes on the dot. But, man, when I let you go, you just went.
It's, but, like, if there's stuff that I'm passionate about.
I know,
it's the
I
same
can
thing.
see.
It's almost the parallel with me talking about this money thing. Like, I found stuff that I'm passionate about, and I'll talk about it. And there's not a lot of stuff that I know in general about life. But if there's something that I have experience on that I want to share, like, my throat's actually sore right now. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, yeah, no, I can absolutely tell. Like, you need to drink water.
Yeah.
For sure.
I do.
But
it's empty.
I was like, holy crap, you were just going on and on. Like,
yep.
Wow.
I've got a lot. And it's funny because I never think that I have anything to talk about. Like, I forget, like, that I've traveled places. Like, people are like, oh, I really want to go to Italy. That'd be awesome. I'm like, yeah, that would be. And then I'm like, oh, like, humble brag, not trying to flex on anybody. But then I'll be like, oh, wait, I've been there twice. Like, I've, like, been to Italy.
That's right. I forgot you traveled a lot.
And me too. Like, I forget that until people say something. And, like, I forget about, like, tons of stuff until, I don't know what's wrong with my head. But
yeah.
Anyways, I'm at the point where I am a lot more understanding of who I am as a person, and I finally have the freedom on multiple levels to, like, explore that and be happy with it. Like, the longboarding and stuff, like, that's a new thing, and I'm really, really excited about it. Bought some protective equipment, and we'll get back out there hopefully this week. That kind of stuff.
Maybe not this week, but
this week.
No.
Yeah,
you
week.
are not healed at all. You still look like raw
No, I'm
hamburger.
ready. I'm ready.
You still look like hamburger.
It's smooth hamburger now.
Oh my goodness. All right. I wanted to add my money situation. I'm right now, since it's been an hour.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Just
you do like a part 2.
You were machine gunning me when I'm just like, all right, instead of acting like an MP5 or whatever, try to shoot at me like an FAL, you know? So I'm struggling to follow all this. Yeah.
I know, and I was talking really fast.
You were talking
too.
very fast.
And for people that aren't used to how I talk, too, it's probably hard to understand.
Yeah,
so
I had to break you up a little bit sometimes. I'm sorry, but there was a method to the madness there. I had to give you a break. But it was interesting because of course I got to learn a bit more about you. I'm just wondering now if I should just split the You Ate Shit into a different episode, but Mike says it's not long enough, so let's just keep going.
Let's do it. You know, if you need to take a break, listener, and just go get a snack or stretch your legs, this is a good spot to do it.
You had 57 minutes to do it, but you're listening now.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. They could just do that with, like, headphones if they have headphones on or something.
And one of the things I wanted to do, when I got into this episode, was try not to be so meta, which is why I didn't bring up the podcast as much, but you know,
here we go.
Yeah, I know. It's still it's just long form digestive content, and it's like you can put it on in the background. And, I mean, you're not really missing. And you can rewind. It's not like it's live, so you can. It's fine that you know. I'm glad that we get to talk about something you were passionate about. This was her idea. Was talking about the money.
Yeah, Tristen was just
everybody.
Like, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, no. I have plenty of ideas. Don't you? No. I was like, sure, do you want an episode? Because I have like 4,000 episodes in mind. I definitely wasn't running out of ideas.
Oh, no. I didn't, yeah.
No, you were totally accusing me.
Yeah.
Damn, I was leading into a joke, but then I did another joke and I forgot what it was. Hate that. I hate it. But no. What I was going to say is, money is something everybody can relate to, you know, because it's a very, very defining factor of your life. Mm-hmm. In general, your upbringing is dependent on how much money you have and all that. Like, can you imagine Jacob Sarcophagi, or he's like he is son of millionaires. You know, he's got it easy, and he'll grow up to be pretty spoiled if they spoil him or whatever. But then you have Gordon Ramsay, who I'm pretty sure he's on the record saying his kids won't get his money. which is a good lesson to teach them because then they have to work hard. And Gordon Ramsay has like 12 shows. He has so much TV. It's unbelievable. But you talked about your money upbringing. I'm going to talk about mine. A little more abridged, though. I won't get into details, but you take a break because you are
sit back now.
You are not done.
Rest.
If you want to fill up my water,
okay.
Cool.
This is gonna be loud.
That's okay. No, it's real. It's life. The headphones are off now. Also, if you want to get water yourself, please do. All right, Leo. I guess I'll talk to you.
Went back to sleep.
Yeah, he's rolling over. It's hard because there is no real audience in here, and having Sheri here is very, very nice to keep the conversation going. But since you look half awake now, Leo, I want to talk to you about my money. As a kid, we never really got, my brother and I wouldn't say we were lower middle class. I'd say we were straight middle, if not middle, upper middle. We weren't really struggling, but we didn't have a lot of money. So early on, I learned that money was very, very important. I think I actually learned when Dad took me to Walmart and I saw a plastic golf kit or whatever. It had a bunch of golf clubs. It was like a kid's version of a golf thing. It was $5.99. And at that point, I had already known about, like, tax. I think I was about 5, 6 maybe. I already knew that the price on the sticker, you'd end up paying a little bit more. So when I went up to Dad to ask for this golf kit, he asked how much it was, and I said $6. And he said, no, we aren't getting that. And this spun one of my dad's favorite pictures, The Heart of Love Is Gone. One day maybe I'll show you guys that, but I learned from that day that money is very important, and if I wanted something, I'd be better off not wanting things because I wasn't really going to get them ever. So as I grew, I never really asked for anything. You know, I ate what was in the house, and Mom was always telling me, you never ask for anything. We have to force you to get clothes and shoes and stuff. And of course I'd ask for video games occasionally. I always felt like I was being reasonable as a kid because I knew money was an issue. We never really got an allowance. Maybe we did a trial run for like a month, but we never had just spending money. You know, so anytime we'd go to Walmart with Mom or whatever, Lucas and I would just window shop. Until at least we were teenagers, and then I feel like Mom got a little more comfortable and she spoiled us a bit more. It spun off the joke. Anybody who comes with Mom gets treats, you know, so it's like, oh, who wants to come with me today? And if Lucas and I both went, we knew we'd have to fight over the love. But if one of us went, then at least somebody would get, you know, treats and food and stuff. But around, I want to say 5th or 6th grade is when I started to get really depressed. And that's when I just basically stopped wanting things and just enjoying what I had. And what I had was video games. And at that point, I grew to just become really, really into video games and dependent on them. But here's where you and I differ, is that even though both of us kind of never had money, you're always about saving money, yet I want to spend it.
Yeah, we're the opposite.
And any opportunity I get to support something that I love, I'll just do it. You know, and Gears of War is a good example. Every single time a Gears game came out, right up until, actually no, that's a terrible example, because the only time I bought a huge edition was Gears 3, and I had the Marcus Phoenix statue. I saved up money for so long to get that statue. Oh my goodness. And let's see, when I was 16, Dad was starting to pressure me to get a part-time job. So I applied for Cracker Barrel, and I got that job. And right around that time, probably 2012 again, which is the happiest year of my life. I feel a lot of the depression I had was in part because I didn't have a job and I wasn't fulfilling what my dad wanted from me, which was to get a job, right? So when I got that job, I came home after work each day or whatever, feeling like, oh, I'm not as useless as I think I am. I have this job. And just about every dollar of that paycheck went into Team Fortress 2. Getting Manco supply crate keys and trying to unbox unusuals and buying stuff, because at that point I had discovered Team Fortress 2. And one of the things about my depression was I've never felt like I could leave my bedroom. I always felt like I was trapped in there, and nobody wanted to see me. And anytime I went out, I was met with, oh, look who finally showed up and stuff like that. And it was just like, why do I even come out here if I'm just going to get belittled, And it's like, anyway, well, thank you for listening, Leo.
You got his attention.
So eventually, Dad intervened again, and he went up to my boss at Cracker Barrel and told them I needed more hours. And this is at the same time I'm in high school, right? And they're like, okay, we can start giving you more hours. And what happened was the very next schedule that came out was they had me. So I went to school from 7 to 2:30. They tried to get me to work from 4 to 10 every single day after school.
Jeez.
So it was like I'd be
That's
from.
That's a terrible day.
Yes, it is. So I'd
you don't
go
have time
from
for homework.
I know. So it was 7 to 2:30, and then I'd be home for a half an hour, and then it'd be from 4 to 10 o'clock, and then I'd have to get right back up at 7. That's what. And then and then my uncle passed away. And we heard the news when we were in Cracker Barrel. That's where I got my first job. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but he passed away in Cracker Barrel. And anytime I looked at the spot I was standing at, I just remember my dad and his voice cracking as he was trying to ring out, saying he's gone. And anytime I go over there, I could see myself there and my dad there having that conversation again. So it was anytime I was at work, it was a nightmare, and I was just like, okay, I can't do this, I quit. So Dad and Mom picked me up that day I quit, and I said, they asked, oh, when's your next shift? I'm like, there is no next shift, I quit. And Dad, he got mad and said, oh, you're done, or whatever. And then we get home, a little bit of argument ensues, and then Mom asked me if I was depressed. And I realized at that point that I didn't feel like I could talk to them. And I love my mom and dad, I do. But there's just a lot of stuff in there of, and I still don't feel like I can talk to them without feeling like I have to cry. I just feel so weak. So she asked if I was depressed. I went right into my room, and this isn't really about money anymore, is it?
No, not really. That was getting heavy.
But, anyway, I'll always remember that she came in and thought she could solve that depression by taking stuff out. I had a little lamp on the side because I didn't like to sleep in the pure darkness. I know, I'm 16 or whatever. I slept with a soft light on. Mostly because I heard that having some sort of light on your eyelids or whatever. I used to sleep with an orange light because it said it was supposed to help you with lucid dreaming. So I was like, okay, I'll try that because why not? But she came in, took that lamp out, took the blinds off the window, said, you need more sunlight, you need this, you need that. And I was like, that's not going to help anything, Mm-hmm. But I couldn't tell them anything. So then I got stuck in this really vicious cycle. But again, I'll loop back to money because that's what we were supposed to. I mean, it's still related. I got the job, and each paycheck may be small, but I still spent it on something I loved, which was Team Fortress 2. And then for a long time, I didn't have a job, but I still had money enough because each week you get 2 crate drops, so it'd be $5 a week to buy the keys to unbox those crates. So I still had enough to carry me for a while for Team Fortress 2 because I didn't have anything else I wanted to spend money on. It was only on the keys I wanted to buy. Mm-hmm. And I only bought keys God, there was, when did the Amiibo come out? I don't remember. I remember that. I'm sorry. There's gaps. I'm very forgetful. I'm having a hard time. It's just like fractured memories and stuff. Excuse me. But and I never felt any different having money. I never felt happier. I never felt, sadder or more guilt ridden, I guess. After I quit Cracker Barrel, my depression was way, way bad. Like, horrible, horrible bad. Then I started going to college, and as soon as I got the job at Walmart, it kind of lifted a bit. So I feel like one of the things for my depression is to not feel as useless, because all I want to do is sit around and play games, But when I got the job at Walmart, I was at college. I didn't have to pay for college at all because it was paid for from a scholarship. Because I was top 10 or top 15% or top 10% or top 15. I know it was top 15 in my class. Mm-hmm. So I had my college paid for, but I had already known. I was like, college isn't going to help me really. I'll do the free college to get like a liberal arts degree.
A degree or whatever.
And then I'm done because I don't need anything. So I started getting more money, just living life normally. Then we decided to move out. At this point, my ex was living with me. We moved into an apartment, got finances done. It was when I wanted to buy a Nintendo Switch that I realized that the hours you work translates into money, right? So it's like, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to have enough money to buy this Switch. And I cut so many hours, like with long lunches, leaving early and showing up late, because I value my time way more than money, And it was like, I only got $400 that check. I was like, I can't buy a Switch with this. So then I decided, I'm going to change the way I work. I started showing up on time and taking an hour lunch, and my checks like doubled. I'm like, holy crap. It was like 5 extra minutes of work is nothing. I could just go to the bathroom, and right around then I started translating money into labor work.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, this loaf of bread is basically me working a 20-minute cart. Is this something that I want to do a 20-minute cart to buy?
Mm-hmm.
So I started translating money into labor. Now, whether or not that's helped me or hurt me is still up for debate. I don't do it anymore because at this point, I don't care about money at all. I know I have it in the bank account, and I know that, I should be responsible about this or I should do that. But my personal time is way more important than a paycheck, because I don't feel like I've got very long to live. I'm not the healthiest person in the world. I was really, really fat. I lost a lot of weight, gained a bit back, lost a gallbladder, lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, and now I'm steadily losing weight again. And like, this obesity is just going to kick my ass one of these days. And I guess money it just isn't as important to me as my fellow man is. And whenever I work and people are always like, I need the hours and I need all this, I'm like, you're going to spend more time at work just to sustain a lifestyle that you don't even get any time to be at.
To enjoy, yeah.
And it's like, I like to surf and all this, but I have 3 kids, so I need to work like 80 hours a week to support them. And it's like, you can't even hang out with your kids at all at that point.
Yeah.
You're just the entity that shows up to give them food. And to me, it just feels like a vicious cycle that we're all stuck in. That we have to sell our souls even more to these places that employ us just to be able to live. And the job I work at pays a little higher than normal, sure. But at it, I have zero creativity. Like, I am an artist at heart. I'm an entertainer at heart. I need to be creative, and at least at Walmart, I was able to do, feature planning, and I was able to organize stuff on my bins and make things look different, do signage and all that stuff. But here it's like you have to follow this strict set of rules. There's cameras watching everywhere. I hate being watched. When I'm watched, I will not perform the same way I would as if I'm not being watched, which is ironic because you want to perform better when you are being watched. But anytime I'm being watched, I'm like, you want to see something? You want to see this? I'm a zombie, Like, there's my motivation and my morale is so low right now that it was because I got hired at this job that it gave me that last little push to do something I've always wanted to do, which was be an entertainer, because there's no creative outlet for me there, and I just felt like I was going to explode. Walmart just had barely enough to keep me scraping by, but now I'm throwing all my eggs in this basket because I don't feel like I can do anything else, and I know it's going to take a long time and a lot of luck for me to get this off the ground to be able to sustain a little bit. But I want to provide the best service I can to my fellow people. I don't want to make more money for these people that are already rich. I want to provide something that my fellow man can enjoy. I want to provide something that this person working at Walmart can enjoy, this person working at Target, these people at these office jobs that are making absolute dog shit money, for no other reason other than the people higher up just need to wipe their ass with $100 bills. I don't want to be indebted to somebody who has a lot more money than I do, because why should I give them more of my time? So at this podcast, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to do the show update right now. I bought cameras. After the quarantine was done, my first 2 hours back at work, it was like 91 degrees. And I was sweating so bad. I took my bathroom break and I was like, I bought cameras immediately. Because I'm like, I'm going to push it. I'm pushing this forward. So after season 2 is going to be a vodcast. Absolutely, it's going to be a vodcast. And ever since I bought these cameras, I have so many ideas swirling in my head for funny bits. But I know podcasts, there's a lot of time in them, and you can't be entertaining for all of it. And if I throw all my good bits into one episode, then I have crap for the rest of it. So I need to find a good balance. But anyway, like, I just want to give back to the community that I am a part of. Because I'm not a part of the people that are up there. I'm not a part of those making $60,000 a year that have 2 houses and can afford to eat lobster every night. Those aren't people I want to give my time to. I want to give my time to my fellow man, and if I don't make a lot of money, then so be it. But I want to do stuff for my kind, and I'm not saying okay, I was going to make a joke, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a joke. But do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like money to me, I don't care about it. As long as I have enough money to buy the next game I want, I'm satisfied. But I know bills and all this crap, and it's like I hate the fact that you have to sell your soul to live.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. And it's like you have to be a drone. You have to be a worker bee in order to live, to get food. Well, I don't want to be a worker bee. Yeah, and I hate that this sounds so narcissistic, but I am destined to be something more than that. And whether it be an entertainer here or some artist in some other place, I've got this mind, I've got to be creative. I've got to do something creative. I don't know anything else. I don't want to learn anything else. Which also is another like mad respect for people that want to be plumbers and stuff, you know? Like,
Sometimes I think that's what I want to do, is be in some hands-on trade.
A trade
that earns
school.
me like a good amount of money. Like if electricians like make like, I don't know, like $70,000 off the bat or something.
Yeah.
Or a mechanic.
Electrician
I always
is
thought I could be a
dumb
good
money.
mechanic.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
It's dumb money, but I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta find what fits you.
And since my time to me is more valuable than money, I have to find something that I like, because I've been so depressed for so long.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't want it to take me over. Yeah, and it's like, it's rough, because the only way you can survive, the most common thing are these crap jobs, and I feel so bad that nobody can do. Like, it just doesn't feel like anybody around me is even able to get to do stuff that they're good at.
Or that they want to do.
Yeah, and these they're getting all these degrees, but they end up at these shit jobs.
Yeah.
It sucks, you know? It's like there's always more demand to make the higher ups more money.
Yep.
I don't know. I've just gone on a tangent. It's not even about money anymore. It's not about money.
I kind of wrap around, because we're both at the point where like we don't want money to be the end all be all to what we're doing. And we both care about the people around us and have that kind of compassion and want to use what we have. For me, it's money right now. For you, it's like entertaining, but use that to like make other people's lives better. Like if I can spend my money at the plant shop and she knows that, oh, like my shop, people like it. And also like now I've got extra money this month. Yeah. And then if you can make, you've made this podcast, and if people are listening to it at work and it makes their days a little brighter, like that's awesome.
I love it because Mike comes up to me. He's like, tell Sheri to screw off. I was like, what did she even say?
Mike, say it to my face.
It's so funny. Like, I know.
What do I? I don't even say anything controversial.
I don't even
This
know.
episode, maybe.
I don't even know. But my friends are telling me to stream because they're, oh, you're so awesome off the cuff kind of crap. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I could do better, more professional stuff. And I always knew this podcast was going to be a vodcast at some point. Yeah. This audio thing was basically just a trial. I am way better with visuals and stuff. I'm surprised that I can keep people entertained on the Xbox, but that's just because I'm doing stupid crap all the time. Tyler, we got ourselves a win in Warzone today, 14 kills.
I saw it. It was impressive.
Then we lost like 8 times in a row.
So Tyler did something today that I was like, what the heck?
He said no, because he died.
Well,
one of the
you
3
died,
times
and you left and came back, and he died right when you were coming back, and it was something that was really funny.
Oh.
Did he like jump off a building and just like not use his parachute?
Oh, yeah. I was no, it wasn't me going to the bathroom, but it was Tyler and I were up on this roof sniping people.
Yeah.
And somebody snuck up on us and killed us, and I lost in the gulag, and he won. And he goes back to that same rooftop. The guy's gone, but he looks down, and he's like, I was like, assassinate him. He's like, no, I can't. So he like stocks up on stuff that we dropped, grabbed that SMG, and he just jumped off and splat against the ground.
Just straight dying.
And then I just took a pause. I was like, Tyler, what was that? Seriously. He's like, I tried to time it slow, and I'm like, come on, man.
Aww.
Unbelievable.
Tyler's the biggest teddy bear.
Well, it's been an hour and a half, and I feel like we've gotten actually really deep. I've been very comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I want from
good.
this podcast. So now the trial is going well. So when the video comes in, it's going to be smooth sailing. Except people are going to see us. People are going to see me cry.
Oh.
They're going to see me cry and say, "Why can't that man shave his beard or his head?" And
they're gonna look. And they're gonna make sure I gotta like brush my hair and stuff. Well, we can't dress like this anymore.
Dress?
We can't not dress anymore.
No, people are going to look at me. I'm going to be like, oh, hi, I'm Tristen. And everybody's going to go, what is that? Who's that disgusting monster? And they're going to look at you, and it's going to be all angels and heavenly choir and the lights. And they're like, how did he end up with somebody like that? What the hell? And I was like, I paid her off, you fool.
Oh, my goodness.
But
no one can pay me off.
All right, that was money.
Are we going to...
Money and depression.
Are we not... Do you want to save the long...
No, we're going. This is episodes. I have it right in the notes right here. You want to disrespect the notes?
No.
Yeah, so here we go.
Hold on, Leo's pause.
The next part. The fan submission. I'm so sorry you had to wait this long. But episode 4, I asked you guys to send me your weird food eating habits, and We got an email from Luke Cheddar. It says, he bites the top of the grape. He eats grapes weird, right? He bites the top that comes off the stem, and apparently he sucks the inside meat of the grape off until there's nothing but skin, and then he chews it.
Oh.
And apparently the first time his girlfriend saw, she almost threw up. So thank you, Luke Cheddar, for your contribution. You're a monster.
I don't think I didn't even know that was possible.
Well, how do you make raisins?
Try it now. Not doing that.
I feel like that's how raisins are made.
You leave raisins out and they like dehydrate and shrivel up.
I don't taste grape. When I eat a raisin, I taste raisin. Okay, so they have to suck out the meat and then let it dry.
No.
They probably put it in an oven.
So when you eat beef jerky, do you feel like you taste beef like steak?
Absolutely, it does taste like beef. Except that's smoked and cured, whereas raisins, the meat's sucked out and then it's baked.
No, it's not. You don't know
sun.
how raisins are made.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Fact checking.
Excuse me. Well, you can fact check all you want, but how do they get yogurt on them?
How do they get yogurt on the grapes?
On the raisins. Boom. Bet you don't even know how they do that, huh?
They put the yogurt on there and then freeze them.
Life must be so simple for you, huh? To believe such poppycock.
How are raisins made?
I know they're sun-dried. Well, teach
Natural
the
seedless raisins are sucked out of their... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I was about to say.
Natural seedless raisins are dried by the sun. Either on paper trays, on the ground, or... Either be dried on paper trays on the ground or on the vine.
See, I was totally ready to wipe the sweat from underneath my knees and rub it all over your face in victory.
How are yogurt-covered raisins?
All right, you don't got to do that. It's obviously just a raisin covered in yogurt.
Place cheesecloth as a liner in the colander. Hold the cheesecloth and gently squeeze the rest of the moisture from the yogurt cream cheese. Boil a pot of water with the steamer basket in place. Combine the butter and yogurt cream cheese in the saucepan.
Okay.
And then I got cut off. That's just a preview.
Well, now you know how to sort of make yogurt raisins, guys.
I don't even know what part of this...
This show is educational.
Anyways.
So, Sheri fell on her longboard, Lamau, was one of the notes I wrote. So, Sheri, please explain to the world how you ate shit on your longboard.
So, one of my best friends gave me a longboard as a gift a few years ago.
Guy or girl?
My girl.
Nice.
My best friend from college.
Okay, I'm not jealous.
So,
Sheri, by the way, to get off track, Sheri said she finds Brad Pitt attractive.
No, I didn't.
You're damn right she doesn't. I'm the one true king.
Now we're talking about Ryan Reynolds.
All right, enough.
Anyways, my friend gave me this longboard as a gift. It must be 3 years ago now. So the first year I took it out, and I am generally a awkward baby moose on anything that I'm standing that moves at first. But then I kind of pick it up because I've picked up, like, I'm an amateur snowboarder. I can do amateur wakeboarding. Like, I've picked up enough where I know what I'm doing, but I'm not really great. Can't do tricks or anything like that. But anyways, longboarding is something that I've wanted to do because it's more accessible based on where we live. Like, we live kind of like in a suburb near a city, and it's not near water for wakeboarding, and snowboarding and the winter sports are pretty expensive and stuff. So anyways, my friend gave me this longboard. It's super cool. The first year that I had it, I took it out and I was, trying to go around the neighborhood. But so the neighborhood that we're in is kind of at the bottom of a hill. And there's a lot of streets that would be great for downhill longboarding, which is a completely different thing than just cruising around on a longboard. And I went down it was short, so I was overconfident and also didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't know enough to be scared of it. Short,
keep in mind that she wasn't wearing any PPE or anything like that.
Right. I'm always, whenever possible in the summer, wearing like a sports bra and shorts if I'm doing something outside. I had the common sense to wear shoes like that covered my feet instead of going barefoot or wearing sandals.
Keep talking.
So anyways, I found a extremely short but very steep hill and was like, we'll see what happens. Like, me being stupid. And went down it and bit the dust immediately. Like, I fell, scraped both of my knees. This was also, like, I was only a few months into my new job. It must have been, like, 5 or 6 months, so, like, not super new, but still in like the awkward phase where I don't like know everybody or I'm not super comfortable. And of course it was summertime, so I was usually wearing like, you know, like dresses or something that were above the knee. And then all of a sudden I have these 2 massive band-aids on my knee and walking around at work. And I can't wear pants over them because it hurts. Because I scraped both of my knees and they were like super bloody and gross. So then I didn't really longboard that much last year, maybe a couple times around the block. This year I've been picking it up because I've got more free time, but you know, everything's closed. So I've been doing this locally as a way to like get out, get some fresh air. Have been a lot smarter about it in that I've been looking up videos and like practicing and trying to get better at stuff like stopping or trying to go down a steep hill. However, I did the exact same thing. Extremely stupid this time. I literally could have died. Like, you know, thinking about, I've been looking at the safety equipment and I just got like a helmet and stuff, but looking at like what other people have gone through, like I was looking through road rash and stuff and seeing what accidents other people have gotten, and I was very, very lucky.
Wait, so you did all your research beforehand?
No. Like, I did research on how to, like, do regular cruising around, like, how to stop with your feet and stuff, and, like, you know, what you can do to, like, better balance and things. I was practicing that. Mm-hmm. I didn't really look at anything on what do you need to downhill longboard, which you need a helmet, and you should wear at least, like, long pants, something to cover, like, your knees, your elbows.
Stay safe, people.
Yes, like, please, like, now that I've seen all the stories on Reddit and stuff about, I was going 10 miles an hour, like, they were going cruising speed, like, flat land speed, and, like, fell and, like, smacked their head on the curb and were bleeding and had to get stitches. Or there was one story about a kid that was, like, again, like, flat ground and, like, literally had to go to the hospital. And there are stories of people that, like, lost their sense of taste and had to be in the hospital for, like, months. Get a helmet. Like, just, you can get, like, $50-$60 helmets. It's worth it.
And you can look cool. You don't have to feel like you look
Tony
like a
Hawk
nerd.
wears a helmet.
Helmets are cool.
So
Tony Hawk isn't cool anymore. Oh, wait,
he's still cool. He's awesome.
Cool. Never mind.
Anyways.
I thought I was talking about somebody else.
So my actual story is that I had not done the safety research beforehand. I had done enough, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I can try this hill this hill wasn't as steep, but this one was a lot longer, so I still ended up going really fast. But I was an idiot, and I was very, very lucky, because I am better than I was 2 years ago, because I wouldn't have made it all the way down the hill, but that was almost worse, because, anyways, I get close, I'm almost done with, like, my skateboarding session. I turn the corner, there's, like, a hill down to the bottom, and then my house is, like, the next street over. So I was like, oh, that's cool, you know what, I'll just see how this hill goes, like, if anything goes wrong, I'll just bail really quick, and, I'm right next to the house. So I start going down the hill really slowly. I was kind of, like, turning, like, I can't turn brake yet, but, like, slide yet, but I was like, well, if anything, you know, when you're snowboarding, you can kind of do this, like, leaf thing where you just kind of, like, go back and forth in, like, a crescent moon shape,
yeah, that's
and that
how
slows
slow
you down.
Yep.
I was like, I'll just do that when I'm longboarding. Well, that did not work, because
that's wheels.
I was like, I mean, you still can kind of do that on a longboard. They're made to turn like that, but my brain was like, not. I did that like twice, and then I just like went forward. And also at that point, there was a truck turned the corner and was coming up the road, and this was like a long hill, so I was picking up speed fast, and there were parked cars on both sides. I was like, there are so many things that could go wrong right now. Like, I have no space to bail because I'm literally gonna slam into a car. Like, if a kid runs out in the middle of the road, like, God forbid, like, I hurt or kill, like, one or both of us. And now there's a truck coming up the hill, opposite direction of me, and I could lose traction at, like, any second, and, like, God knows, I didn't tell you all of this
yeah,
I came home.
I'm just learning this, and I feel like I'm about to poop my pants.
Yeah, it was bad. Like,
I
remember
scared.
going down the hill. Like, again, I'm a lot better. Like, I noticed. I remember the first time I went down a hill, I went down a short one, and I was just, like, so wobbly, and I didn't fall, but it was a very, very shallow hill, and I, like, wasn't, you know, that was safer. This time, I was, like, flying. Like, at some point when I'm better and I can go back and handle it, I want to go speed check how fast you actually get on that hill and, like, find out how fast I went down. Because I felt like I was going so fast, like, as fast as a car would drive down that hill. This truck was coming up, and I remember at one point, like, I was almost losing my balance, and my hands were, like, waving, like, above my head. I'm sure the truck driver was, like, scared out of his mind he was going to hit this what looks like a kid, like flying down. I had nothing. I didn't have a helmet on. I was wearing literally a sports bra and my running shorts that have 5 pockets that I referenced earlier. I didn't even like exactly tell Tristen where I was going to be or what I was doing. It was just like, I'm just going to go longboarding.
Yeah, no, I was at work when I got the text message. And
oh yeah, you weren't even home.
No, it was like I was an hour in. And my favorite part about this story is that you had just started a vacation, and not even 2 hours
so
later,
excited.
you turned your legs into ground
Yeah,
beef.
I was so excited because I was like, oh, I've got like 5 days off. Like, it's going to be sunny. Like, I'm going to spend a lot of time longboarding. I'm going to work out. I'm going to like get a lot of stuff done in the house. Like, I
ended up doing none of that.
Yeah, so I'm flying down this hill. Like, every thought in my head is like, I could die right now. I could die right now. I could die right now. But also like trying to like not let my body freak out and trying to like stay in control and, you know, because I'm usually okay at that. And I actually made it down the entire hill. That's the shocking thing. And also the thing that gives me hope, but with a helmet next time, is I made it down the entire hill somehow fine. And what actually happens, and this goes against all the other trainings of like being safe and that I have ever been taught, is I see a patch of gravel in front of me, for some reason I think the opposite thing that I should have, which is, oh good, if I hit that patch of gravel, I'll slow down. Now, this is stupid because, one, I'm already down the hill, and I'm at the point where I can have a lot more control and I'm a lot more stable again, so I should have just ridden it out until I could have done the foot stop or whatever. But instead, I look at that patch of gravel, which steers me towards it, I hit it, it does slow me down, but way faster than I thought it was going to. And I bite the dust like right in front of this woman was working outside of her house, and she had a team of guys working on her roof, like the one house in the entire neighborhood. And like a ton of people, which would have been good if I got her.
So you were a public spectacle then.
Yes, and it was funny because she has seen me longboarding around before, like normal, and she like smiles and waves at me, like she thinks it's cool that I'm longboarding and stuff. This time she got to see me eat it, like hard. And
she must have come over then, right?
No, she just like she was looking at me. And
she smiled and waved. I
smiled and waved at her to like let her know I was okay, and I did not hit my head. Like, thank God, like I didn't hit my head. I think I just like fell forward off of the board, and I had curled my legs up, so I kind of landed on my ankle, my shin, and part of the skin right under my butt. Yeah, because I was looking at it like this, and this is where all the skin like lines up.
So did you limp home?
I actually longboarded the rest of that street.
Oh my goodness.
Then that street going back to the house is like uphill, which is annoying to longboard up anyways. So then I just picked it up and carried it. And so
did you cry?
No crying.
So brave.
I did start kind of like feeling sick. Like I hadn't really eaten a lot. Like I'd eaten something like really quick and like right before I went out, but I just wanted to get out before it got really hot.
I wasn't even able to make you breakfast.
No. And I got back and I actually like had so much dirt. I thought I had 4 scars, like 4 injuries, but I squished so much dirt by falling. There's so much dirt and gravel in my shoe that it was just hurting that much to be in my shoe. So I got back, like peeled my shoes off.
When did you realize you were bleeding a lot?
Well, I can see right off the bat, my ankle one is the deepest one, and that's the one that's taking the longest to heal and it's like really itchy right now. That was bleeding right off the bat.
So that lady must have seen you bleeding then, right?
I don't think she saw that because that was right near my that's right above where my shoe is, so it was just bleeding kind of like down. Couldn't really see it. Like my shin was red and gross, but it wasn't like actively bleeding yet. And a lot of it was dirt too. A lot of it just looked like it probably just looked like dirt from far away because there was a lot of gravel and a lot of dirt. And then I don't know what my butt looked like. Fine. It might even have been, the shorts might have covered part of it because it kind of is right around that spot. But I went to shower and it was just like, even with just the water, like a lot of dirt was coming off and I was like, oh gosh, like, and I always forget like how bad injuries hurt and stuff. But road rash is no joke.
And she wants to go longboarding again.
Yeah, but with LA clothes.
This should have scared you away forever. I'm just saying.
No.
That's what I would have done. I would have just given up.
No, never. I want to do it safe this time. But I definitely, like, I made it down that hill. Like, I'm never going to do something like that again because it was really, really stupid. But I was glad that I at least have gotten better than before. Glad that I'm alive. And that I only walked away having to spend, like, that injury, so, like, down that little hill or whatever, and the road rash, I was not able to, I spent all 5 days of my vacation, the entire days on the couch, barely able to move. Because of the way that this is, I can only kind of lay on my left side.
That hill cost you your vacation and the
more.
Next 2 weeks.
It was my vacation, and it was really, really hard to work because I couldn't sit straight at the computer desk. Like, I had to bring my laptop over the couch and kind of, like, lay down and, like, position it.
We had to skip a week of filming because of it.
It was rough.
So, I mean, it was really Lamau, according to these notes.
It looks like it's healing now. Like, I'm at the point where it was weird too. Like, every time I stood up, like after the first few days, and after we went to urgent care just to make sure it wasn't going to get infected, because I started getting worried because it looked kind of bad and I didn't want to get infected, like, God forbid. They actually said it looked okay, but they gave me better supplies to, like, redress the wounds and like the bacteria.
I tried my best.
No, you did good. And the Walgreens near us doesn't have all the stuff that the doctor has. So.
I didn't even go to Walgreens.
Tops?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Walgreens might be better for that kind of stuff.
Are you disappointed?
No.
Because I got you what you needed, and then maybe I bought myself some Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its are important.
They are very important.
But, so this wound was kind of healing from the inside out, so it's been taking longer, but it should be less likely to scar, which I'm prone to getting really bad scars and having those forever. Mm-hmm. But I literally would stand up and just feel, like, intense pressure, like, right where the injuries were, and, like, not be able to stand. Like, I would just hop. There were 2 nights where I slept on the couch because I couldn't make it upstairs to go
sucked.
to bed. Yeah.
I was actually the true victim of that, to be honest. Because I went up there and I slept right through the night like a freaking baby, and then I woke up, I was like, I don't deserve that.
Oh. And I was sleeping horrible. Like,
she's down here.
Sleep.
Yeah, she's suffering, and I'm up here, and I'm like, I feel well rested and like a piece of shit.
I would have traded that in a minute. And it's still itchy. Like, right now, my ankle is so itchy right now. Yeah. I'm trying not to, like, pick at it and stuff.
And your antibiotics, it seems like it gave you an allergic reaction because you also had a rash.
Yep. So a few days after this kind of started healing, I woke up and, like, it was almost actually, like, it was, like, late afternoon before I noticed. But I kind of, like, looked down. And I was like, Tristen, like, look at all this. I was like, look at all these bites.
I thought, we thought it was fleas at first. I was like, I don't know, because you have a bunch of them, but I have 0.
Yeah.
And at first I said, those look like hives to me.
Right.
At first, but you were like, I don't know, they're probably fleas. So
well, I was looking it up because I was like, it looks like fleas are like bed bugs, but I have not even been, I told other people, I haven't even been out to get the mail because of my leg. Like, I've literally not even been, like, outside of the house, like, even a step.
I did find it very highly unlikely that they were fleas, so I was like, okay, I'll take the bed sheets off, but I'm going to do a very thorough check.
Yeah. And there was nothing there.
Because I know exactly what flea bites look like,
right.
And because I've had 3 flea infestations in my life. I was like, those don't look like flea bites.
Yeah. Well, I just, like,
and with how many you had, it was like there would have to be a bunch of fleas.
Well, and I don't have allergies to, like, stuff that I'm touching, or I have one allergy that's to, like, a medicine that I'm not supposed to take, but I haven't been taking, like, that kind of medicine.
Wait, what
I don't have food allergies or anything. C-chlor?
That's what that is.
No, it's not.
You're right, it's not. Did you know that?
Yeah, and you have to tell them every single time you go there what you're allergic to, and I say C-chlor.
I had to tell them I'm allergic to this DTaP shot.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
DTaP?
Yeah.
It's not a fun shot.
It's the booster shot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, technically my growth is stunted.
No.
Technically it is. Because I was allergic to the booster shot. I only grew to be 6'1". I should be 6'7". I'm just saying. I'm not as tall as I should be.
You're not suffering from it.
Yeah, I'm just saying the education system stunted my growth. That's all I'm saying right now. So
but anyways,
that was Sheri's weeks in hell.
Well, it's not even, like, that was super itchy, and we didn't know what was causing it, so I was stressed out for an extra day because I
couldn't cuddle, so I was suffering more.
But I literally couldn't, no matter what, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay down on any sides of my body. And there was just, like, there was an entire day where I was just so itchy everywhere, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I almost was going to tell you to take me to the emergency room because I literally could not stand this. I was at the point where I was going to end up, like, scratching my skin off. Yeah. Because it was really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
that was rough.
But we got Benadryl, and calamine lotion, and I put the ice pack. I think that really helped. Put that on the spots, and it's all gone. Like, today is the first day that I've been able to sit normal, and it feels great.
Yeah.
I was able to stand for like 20 minutes and do the dishes, and I was so happy.
I know, and I was a great boyfriend the whole time. I'm just saying, who's the true victor here?
Me.
No. It's not. It's me. I get to stroke my ego, and I get to cuddle you.
You even learned how to do the litter box.
Oh, my goodness. Please, no.
And now you can do that forever.
I inhaled so much ammonia, I'm pretty sure I'm poisoned. Because all
You know
day
what the worst
yesterday,
part
I
is?
just got ammonia stuck in my nose. I was like, anytime I inhale, I'm like, it smells like...
I didn't even realize
Leo's
it only
pissed.
got that bad because I thought I had to wait for a new thing to come in, and I didn't realize there was another whole thing of litter in the closet.
Really? We have 3 things?
We have
of
3
that
now because they come in packs of 2. I just thought we already ran out of 2. But
Well, I mean, you couldn't get up anyway.
yeah, but I would have asked you to clean it out sooner, and then it wouldn't have gotten as bad. I thought I was trying to wait until it came, so it got worse.
Yeah, I don't know what this cat's dick and butt are doing, but they are stinky.
Well, I mean, if we peed and pooped in a box for like months and months and didn't like wash it out, it would smell bad too.
I guess. I'm just like...
Cats are...
I'm down there and I'm getting dizzy. I'm like, my goodness. You're
Cats
poisoning
are,
me, cat.
Yeah. His litter box, we're supposed to clean it out every day, and then you're supposed to change it out completely and like wash it and stuff. And cats are also bad because they can get whatever thing that's bad for pregnant women. Like, pregnant women aren't supposed to clean litter boxes because there's some... Whatever. And not important.
Well,
But that was my week from hell.
yeah. I mean, we have a lot of week in review because we've been gone for 2 weeks, technically.
Yeah.
You wouldn't friggin' know that because I am so good at scheduling these things that everything's going to come out on time. We're just a little delayed. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are in the back end, but on the front end, the one you guys
won't
are
even
getting,
know.
you won't even friggin' know. Let's talk about me going swimming now. Back in the day, my dog Zelly, I miss that dog. She's a great dog. She was neurotic about the swimming pool. And it got to the point, and I love swimming, right? And I think her specifically helped me realize this love, but there were about like 4 summers in a row where I would do nothing but swim every single day and then play games. And maybe sometimes I'd swim twice. But anytime I opened up the hall closet to grab a towel or she saw me in my swimming trunks, she just bolted right to the back door to the pool and just started shaking like crazy. And I'd open it and I'd have to tell her, no, 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 because she'd try to jump the gate into the pool. And I was like, don't do it. I will let you in. And she would swim until she passed out if she could. She'd swim, eat the bubbles, come back up, vomit, and go back in. And she'd love to play fetch and shit too. But I haven't gone swimming in a while since I moved out of my parents' house. I don't like public pools and I don't like ocean water.
Like wild, yeah.
Yeah,
like
stuff I can't see the
water.
bottom of, I don't like. Maybe I have thalassophobia, but I don't know. But for the first time in a while, I went down to my mom and dad's because I went to the dentist, and they live in another state. But it's like within driving distance. Where are we now? Where did we say we are now? Anyway, it's a running gag. It's a running gag. We don't even freaking... I don't even think we're from America. We're not in the UK.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove, but we went down there and we ordered Chinese, and I went swimming for 4 hours. It was a really long time we went swimming, and I don't know, it just reminded me of the good old days. Zelly she's not around anymore, and the new dogs don't swim as much, but we taught the younger one, Riley, to finally jump in the pool, and now I've never seen a dog more obsessed with fetch than that monster. She has dead eyes that are only locked onto her squeaky toy, and it's like she plops it down and then...
Are they hunting dogs? Irish Setters?
I want to say they're more like pointer dogs.
So that's a pointer behavior.
I don't know.
To kind of like wait.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
not important, but...
I don't know what Irish setters are. Based on
fact
those
check it
2
while
dogs,
we-
Irish setters are just stupid and loud.
Very loud and very
Stupid.
rambunctious.
But one of the moments specifically was Lucas and I were playing chicken with nobody. But he got on my shoulders. I was like, all right, you're going to get on my shoulders and you're going to do the best you can to knock me down on the water. And he starts just wriggling his body, but he fell back and he squished his knees closed on my jaw and ripped me back. And the sides of my jaw are still a little tender from it. But it was a good day. It was just a classic day. I forgot what it was like to go swimming for a long time and just smell chlorine forever. And I don't know. I guess it was just a little nostalgic feeling. There's some feelings you get from like certain smells and stuff that invoke something in you. Obviously nostalgic. I don't know how to describe this feeling, but I'm sure everybody's felt it. But so I guess that wraps it up for episode 7. This was definitely a Sheri-centric episode.
I know. I'm sorry.
She just went machine gunning. It was crazy.
Irish setters are a hunting dog. They're a bird or gun dog. Sorry, I'm not talking.
They're more a retriever fur though.
It just, I don't know, sporting dog. It doesn't say exactly what they do, but it does say, this is kind of funny because this is what they are. These rambunctious redheads are big kids at heart, but they are eager to please and will respond to patient, positive training. They are said to be bold and rugged hunting partners with a devil-may-care approach to their work, which is like a very good description of Riley and Rourke.
But, dude, I don't see Rourke being a hunter. I don't think he could hunt his way out of a bread bowl. You know, he would just scream at it forever.
Yeah. They're supposed to stand. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to stand and like point like quietly, like once they
that's
see
a pointer. Yeah, that's a pointer dog. But
I don't know what a bird dog is.
They retrieve the bird from the water.
Oh, once you shoot it or something? Oh.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
Anyways, yeah. I went off on this episode because I had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
This actually idea, like if I ever had a blog or something, this money thing was going to be like one of my first entries because it's something that's been like, I just think about it all the time still. Just always thinking about money, so had a lot to say.
Well, episode 7, I don't know what the title I was going to call it, labor money, but I was like, I wasn't even the star of this one.
We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Maybe money and depression.
Money, depression, injuries. Maybe it's just like pain. Maybe the overall theme
money
is like
and pain. How to hurt yourself on a longboard and then do it again later.
Emotional and physical pain.
But, well, I mean, that's all I've got.
Yeah, I'm good. My throat, I need to recover and not talk for like a day.
You got anything else?
No.
Well, I've already talked about the meta. The vodcast will start after season 1 is done, I think, after episode 10.
Thinking about how do I look now. We're brushing my hair and putting
the most important part is where the studio is going to be set up.
Yeah.
I want a professional looking thing, but also I need something where I can hide stuff and have a big cardboard M or an orange M somewhere. It doesn't even have to be.
You can like hang up bed sheets or something.
Solid gold or something. I don't know. But anyway, I still don't have a goodbye, so, you know, this is it. See you in the next episode. It's dark in here, so I can't see the stop button. There it is. All right.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. See you later.